We live in a world that's delusional. It's delusional. It's deceptive. It's sneaky. It's all about secrets. It's about mocking God's people, however many of them there are. It doesn't seem like there's many, really. So it's more like mocking the Spirit of God. When you look at the world, as I do, filled with people who are demonically possessed, and the delusion is they don't even believe so because they have somebody or something or someone, a communication of some sort through their brain waves that tells them to do a certain thing to a certain person when they walk by or when they're working, or just be seen in eyesight, just mirror their walking patterns, just be there. Constant reminder of Satan's in control of everything. Constant reminder everywhere I go. So those people are demonically possessed. But do they believe that? I don't think they all do. I'm sure some of them do, but I don't really think the majority of the people realize that what they're doing. So they're delusional. At some point, I remember the app getting people's attention where it was the Pokemon Go app. And the one year, me and my wife walked into the park that we usually walk in, and all of a sudden, everybody's head was down. They were looking at their phone. They were following people. It would just look so zombie-like for the first time, and it was like the introduction of the gang stalking app on the phone. Because what is it with the Pokemon app? They're following a target, right? So even the kids these days, when you're demonically possessed, it means there's something other than yourself, something other than your own thoughts telling you what to do, and then you do it. The delusion is, I'm not possessed. Well, I'm free. I'm not controlled by anybody. Yeah, but except for that voice in your head that's telling you, to come to where I'm at and just do your thing. Do your tactic. So these are things that I see that I don't know who sees it, really. I don't know who sees it. Maybe everybody is in on it, maybe not. But to the people that are following God's ways, I'm sure there's some people on this planet, but the secrets in the world, it's about, how the Masons love to keep things secret, right? And at the same time, when they're keeping things secret and they're saying hello to you with, whether they're raising up their glasses in their face with their middle finger, talking to you, or just saying hi by cutting in front of you and doing a gang stalking tactic. Hollywood, the Illuminati, the illuminated ones, mocking God's people. It's all about the sheep, the dead sheep, the spark of life being dead in a box, inverting it, caging it. That's why there's bird watchers. They're watching birds so they can tell their boss who still has a bird flying in the outside, so they can get them to either do a nip and tuck or a snip and tuck or a bird cage. And that's the fear. That's the fear porn that's being pushed. This is a spiritual battle. I don't know about the people that are from the inside, the Illuminati, You guys that have YouTube channels, you've come after me, you've pretended to be my friend, but really it comes down to it that you're just being fake. You're being fake, you're controlled, you're demonically possessed, and you may even be delusional. Now, in the beginning, I was definitely delusional. I was waking up. I was absolutely asleep. I hopped into a YouTube platform, and it was like a lake of fire, just burning me up. And it burned me up. It really did. It 2018 was the year that I realized you can't trust anybody. Well, I started to realize that. The year 2023, right now, you can't trust anybody except for the Spirit of God that is still working through some people, like 7,000 who haven't bowed their knee to Baal. But in this world itself, like the people that I come across, where is even one of them? Where are these people that the Bible talks about that haven't bowed their knee to Jezebel? Ahab, he got his career ended first, and then Jezebel. Jezebel chased Elijah. Elisha. People are still acting. They haven't stopped. They just act better. Satan's people. The problem is Satan deceives the entire world. And his people that are still acting, the ones that are deceived by Satan, because they believe I am deceived. They believe that, you know, Robin, it's a nice run that you had. We appreciate mocking you, making fun of you, and getting a bunch of laughs, and watching your videos and laughing at you, and because you think you might know something, but you don't. But I'll tell you what, when you sure do nail things down, and you're talking exactly about what we know to be true, it's kind of frightening. But again, we're not going to focus in on that. We know our boss is Satan, and we know that he hates your guts. So there's no way in hell that you could have possibly have influenced the leader of the planet to break the covenant with many halfway through. Why would the Antichrist do that halfway through his peace arrangement deal that happened like 42 months ago or so? Huh? Why would they go with your idea? You're a nobody. You're like, just like Kim said, you're like a nobody, Robin. You're like a nobody, like a Joshua, nobody, son of Nun, nobody. I looked at it as a son of Ben Nun, but maybe it's the son of Nun, nobody. And something about the similarity of what the angel, the Church of Sardis, was talking about. The Asian mother goddess. Because there's only one Asian I know on YouTube that I follow, and that's Kim Jean. So I would just assume you must be that angel, huh? That Paul was talking about? Because if not, so what? You're not. But what if you are? That's the thing. It's like the Super Bowl itself. Well, this could happen, it could be this, could be that, and then when it is, it's like, oh wow, it is. But if it isn't, it's like, oh, whatever, it ain't. It either is or it isn't. But the similarities is an Asian mother goddess. Well, that's not. You're a man, right? I mean, you look like a man standing up in front of that pulpit. sometimes your eyes are rolling behind your head and just wondering what's all that about. Not that I need to wonder, I already know. But yeah, but what was the problem? What was the problem that Christ had with that church anyway? It's dead. That's what it is. It's dead because the mother goddess, Asian mother goddess, giving life to the dead. It's like Skull and Bones. The dead, and then they get reskinned or whatever. It's the technology itself is how I'm looking at Sardis, where you have a persona as if you're alive, but you're still doing the works of Satan. But the thing is, who can tell? This thing is something that it's done in secret. It's done, it's not like I can see. It's not like I have access to watching what you're doing, like you have access to watching what I'm doing. I just have the access of knowing in spirit what you're doing. And at times my discernment isn't always on point. But it's because of these hot and cold type of predictions that God wishes that I were, instead of being lukewarm, like the church of John Wise III. Being lukewarm, being a bird watcher, being lukewarm when that piping goes in. And I think even Christ had nothing good to say. Not even I know your works and thou have, patience and endure. No, it's like, you disgust me, is what I think he was saying. And you need to understand that what you thought to be true in the future, as if who's going to take over, or even if it's you, it's not. And if it is, it's only going to be for a few hours or so. And that's it, and it's over. It's like 2 hours of judgment, like Jacob Israel said, and it's over. Because who's Jacob Israel? Well, I think he's Elon Musk, and I think he's from Mars. Because I didn't believe in Mars before I joined YouTube. I didn't believe that the world leaders would have YouTube channels trolling people. Didn't believe it. But that's the same mindset as my brother Billy, where I tried telling him that, what's going on here. I'm talking to people that run this planet. It's like, yeah, well, they don't have time to get on YouTube. And yeah, I know. Well, that's exactly what I thought too, but I was wrong. And so are you. And then my brother Billy yesterday, even with, you should just stop doing it. You're just wasting your time. It's just you're doing it. Oh my goodness. Wow. It's scriptures being fulfilled in front of my eyeballs. My own brothers they think I'm nuts. Everybody thinks I'm insane because the reality is this. There's a world, when I tap into the YouTube platform, there's a world that is unseen. It's non-existent. It's a spiritual war. It's another world. In my mind, there's another world going on. There's communication between the people that have say in what's going on, and if not that they have say, they're the top slaves on the planet from Satan. Like, in other words, his 12 disciples, his 12 top slaves, I communicate with on this YouTube platform. And at some point, yeah, it'll manifest into the real world, but right now it's invisible. So I understand anybody listening to my video now, whether you're family members, friends, or whoever, you see what I'm saying and doing, and it just seems like it's pointless because I don't even hang out with anybody. I don't talk to a physical human being to get information about what I'm displaying. I don't even know if I'm talking to human beings on the YouTube platform. You could be hologram AI technology. But one thing's for sure, there are a bunch of women, definitely women, and even call for an uprising. You know what? I'm glad to see what he's doing right now. Even though he's doing it in a sneaky, pretending he's not actually coming out of the closet as Norma. But I appreciate the fact that he's turning to becoming who he really is, which is Norma. A woman trapped in a man's body. You know, people were judged for that. How do you not know that with the mixed DNA, the way that Satan mixed DNA, that he made it that way so you can be a male or a female trapped in a male's body? That way you can be judged your entire life, and you have to feel uncomfortable because it's not really who you are, but you don't feel like you're a dude. You feel like you're a woman, but you look like a dude, so you're supposed to act like a dude when you really don't feel right because you're acting. And all I say in this world is stop acting, everybody. Be yourself. Who cares if you're gay? Who cares if you're a woman, a female, or male, or trapped, or whatever? Be yourself. So at some point I'll show some clips of what I'm talking about with the call for an uprising, because he has a few other channels, and I stumbled across and he's kind of making fun of Norma, who's coming out saying that his channel was bought, paid over. I don't remember what it was. He's kind of making fun of it, but in a way not really, but he's basically testing the waters to see who's going to say what. And I say, just stop acting and just be yourself. Don't pretend that you're showing some woman, Norma, that wants to be a female but isn't trapped in a male's body. Just be yourself. Call for an uprising, whoever you are. Just things like that, because the Angel of the Bottomless Pit's taking over, and it's a transgender movement. If you don't like it, if you're a typical Christian basher or a gay basher, and you call yourself a Christian, where you're hating on people because they're homosexual or whatever, but yet you're a big fat hypocrite yourself because you listen to that person or that AI app that tells you to do certain things to get my way or others' ways who are targets, and then you'll judge somebody else for being gay. That's what the problem is. So the Angel of the Bottomless Pit is going to take over anyway. But here's the thing. I've been working on that angel for at least 42 months. And if I don't have confidence in my ability to influence people who are in control of the world, then what the hell am I still doing talking? Again, everything is my opinion. I don't know the Bible inside and out. I can only say, this reminds me of that. It's either hot or cold. The story of Job, when he's talking to his buddies who always seem to have something to say about him while they're living it up. It reminded me of the way Kim Jean was talking about Joseph being a nobody, or Joshua, or I think it's a Joshua, right? Because Joshua and Caleb are the only two that had a set of cojones to. Everybody else weren't they scared of didn't they give a false report or something? Or they were scared to, whatever the story is, I'm not certain, but for those of you that know, saying that he was it's like Joshua he's a nobody, son of none, and he was envious of, in a sense, of his whoever, like you guys that were at the Super Bowl, and you never had a bad day in your life, and you don't have to actually work for a living. You just have to You just have to teach what you're teaching, and it's not always correct. Because, like, the one thing I don't agree with is trying to control people, trying to tell them what to do or what they shouldn't do. What I tell you is, whatever you're going to do, you'll do. Whatever you won't do, you're not going to do it. Things have consequences one way or another, and I guess you'll find out when that consequence happens. In the meantime, we're just going to block the street. Instead of pulling over to the side, we'll just block the street itself, because it's a way of creating a stall tactic. Because if you think about it like this, if you're going to pull somebody over, unless they broke down. But the thing is, people that break down, they really don't. So the reality is, Mr. Cop guy here is blocking the entire street, and it's unnecessary. Anyway, if you're the boss, you know, you can do what you want when you're the boss. So it reminds me of that when Christ is relaying the information to the 7 churches, I don't know if it ties into it, but it reminds me of Job talking to these people that are, it almost seems like they're self-righteous, and they're telling Job about himself and what he's doing wrong and all this crap. And meanwhile, they're being hypocrites, and they should just shut up, because that's the way I perceive it, when God finally basically tells them to shut up in the end. And yeah, Job was reprimanded for his irritation level, so I can relate to it. All I can tell you is I relate to that story, because there's these people that seem to do their videos. It's not all about me. It's not, the world doesn't revolve around me. Right, Skip? It doesn't revolve around me. Gene, Kim, not me. It doesn't revolve around me, but you guys seem to sure like to communicate back and forth a lot in every single one of your videos. So, thinking of the devil. So when you communicate back and forth, there's these jabs that are taken. I feel like there's spiritual punches in the face. And I just want to let you know that it doesn't faze me. And whatever's going to happen is going to happen. One thing I've learned is nothing ever happens. It's just a bunch of talk. Like, oh yeah, well you wait, Robin. Like that one guy that Skip was talking about, who he had a wish in a genie bottle, and he wished for a year ahead of time's worth of stock market investment things. And it's similar, because I nailed the stock market exchange on that one day, Jonathan Kleck's birthday. And then I'm talking about winning the lottery. And it feels like it's a similar story where, oh yeah, Robin? Well, you're going to get that one wish, that dream to hit the lottery, but on the other side of that paper is an obituary, and your name is on it, and you're going to die. Well, thank God for that, because I'm so scared of dying. That would be the greatest thing. I hit the lottery, I win all that money, I crack the code, and then I get killed and go to heaven. Boy, I'm frightened to death of that scenario. And then there's another scenario of being beat up and raped and murdered and molested and for like a few weeks or something like that. I don't know if I'm tapping into that correctly, but just in case, if I am, I'll say it. And if I'm wrong, then, well, good, I'm in the wrong. My discernment is incorrect on that. But the only way to defeat Satan is to tell him exactly what he's saying. There's really no other way of doing it. the one way of defeating the mockers who laugh at me when, like before, when I thought I'm not being surveilled 24/7, and then I realize I am, and then I say it out loud that I know I am, and then I'll, whatever the bird watchers want to watch, then fine, here watch this, because what it does is it eliminates that secret. It's almost like a sexual perversion of the people watching, this secret sexual perversion of being able to bird watch you all the time as if you didn't know. So then what I do is, when I do know, well, here, let me give you something to watch, bird watcher. Well, because I know what the threat is. The threat is you're gonna get your dick chopped off, is what it is. That's the threat. That's what this whole world is threatening people with. Why do you think Why do you think my parents moved from Florida to get away from hair red, the red hair, to go upwards towards the higher ground, up towards like heaven, higher up from the bottomless pit down to the swampville? Why do you think Florida is filled with swamps? Because it resembles the host body, what's going on inside, and the lukewarm cooking of angels. But to anybody who's hearing what I'm saying and you have no idea or even belief that there's anything like that going on, I don't know what to tell you. I have to say it anyway. These things are unseen, and at some point they will be seen. But in the meantime, I've always had threats that I should shut up. I've always had threats of where this is going because I won't shut up. Like, in the end, you're finally going to get it, Robin. Well, good. I'm finally going to get it. You're going to get it too. Because as soon as you think you're going to do something to somebody because of some type of perception of what Scripture says, and then the door is slammed shut in your face because it's too late, it already happened. Yes, it was fulfilled, and here we are. So my way of resetting my disgust is by pushing record, venting it out, and then letting you know, well, this is what I hear. I hear this threat over here, but here's how I'm reacting towards that. Bring it. Bring it. Just bring everything you say, bring it, because so far it's been 6 years and nothing has happened. Nothing. Not one person has laid a finger on me. Maybe we wait until the very end, and that's the whole purpose. Do I ever really meet anybody? Well, John Wise said I will, but he's not somebody I'm looking forward to meeting, because I know there's evil intent behind his soulless eyes and that mask that he's acting as for that one character. And then his other character, I'm sure, is loving and caring and kind, and so it's just the way it is. I don't take offense to it. I just need you to know that I'm perceiving you in this way, in this spirit, under this mask, and under that moniker, name. Even with Skip yesterday, I almost thought I seen Kim Jean behind like his eyes, because sometimes Kim Jean, it looks like he's blind, like he's staring off into a blind area and then focuses his eyes in. Kind of looked the same. I don't know. That one guy Skip had on his channel that had the dagger in his hand, talking about, if you're whoever that guy is that Skip was talking about, you better watch out. He's like, no, I'm just kidding. But yet he has the dagger in there, and Kim Jean was talking about stabbing me in the side. Yep. So there's a problem with some of these churches still, because there's just something about it that they're not getting. I don't think they believe the end result is what I'm saying it is. Because who am I? I am nobody. I am a son of none. None, nada. Nobody. Like, literally, my dad's not even alive. And who was he when he was alive? Nobody. So I'm like the son of none. No, Kim, I'm not envious of you. Just, if anything, it's just more of an irritant that people are still living their life largely hypocritically, pointing at other people that, like myself, that live month to month, bills, basically just surviving is what I'm doing. You guys are living it up. And when you're standing behind the pulpit, it just seems like your attention is somewhere else in a fleshly manner underneath the pulpit box, bench thing. And so I wonder, well, how much control do these people actually have? If you can't just, I mean, you can't wait. You can't wait until you're done preaching, or, you know, beforehand, or it's you have to do it the entire way as an altar call. Because here's the other thing. No, you go ahead. Now, yeah, I want to follow you. So let me get this straight. That guy didn't need to go anywhere. But because I'm driving by, he's backing up, pulling out. He was going to get behind me, but he's really not going anywhere. Is he demonically possessed? Well, no, Robin. He's just going to the store. Just shut up. You can't wait, can you? At some point, I'm done talking. At some point, I'm done talking. You want me to leave, right, Kim? Well, tough shit. Now, I could just be battling demons in my head right now. I could be thinking something that isn't even, not even closely related. But because I've learned the language, I'm pretty sure I'm on point with it. But who knows?